Good morning, students. Welcome you all in this learning session. My dear students, in this session again, we will continue our study of the chapter The Bond of the Love. And for this session, I have selected para number 16 to 23 to study. Okay. Dear students, in para number 16, the narrator is saying that our friends had predicted that the bear would not recognize my wife. I also thought so, but when my wife was some yards away from his cage, Baba saw her and at once recognized her. He cried with happiness. She ran up to him, petted him through the bars, and he stood on his head in happiness. In para number 17, the narrator is saying that for the next 3 hours, she did not leave that cage. My wife gave him tea, lemonade drink, cakes, ice cream, and many other things. Then closing time came and we had to leave. My wife was weeping bitterly. Baba also cried. Even the hard-hearted curator and the keepers of the zoo felt depressed, felt sad. But as far as I was concerned, I thought what is going to happen in future. In para number 18, the narrator is saying that my wife requested the curator, "Oh sir, please give my Baba back to me." With hesitation, he answered, "Madam, Baba belongs to the zoo and zoo is a government property. So I can't give you government property. But if my head, the superintendent, whose office is in Bangalore, agrees, you may take your Baba back to home." In para number 19, the narrator is saying that then we made a return journey to Bangalore at the superintendent's office. Weepingly, my wife requested to the superintendent. She said, "Baba and I both are missing each other badly. Will you please give him back to me?" The superintendent was a kind-hearted man and agreed. Not only he accepted my wife's request, but he also wrote to the curator telling him to give us a cage just to transport Baba back to Bangalore. Taking the superintendent's letter, we again returned to Mysore. Baba was driven into a small cage and put on the top of the car. The cage was tied securely and a slow and careful return journey to Bangalore was accomplished by all of us. In para number 21, the narrator is saying that after reaching home, a group of police were engaged for special work in our compound. In our compound, an island was made for Baba. That island was 20 feet long and 15 feet wide and was surrounded by a dry pit. 6 feet wide and 7 feet deep that pit was. A wooden box that once housed fowls was brought and put on the island for Baba to sleep in at night. Straw was also placed inside the box to keep him warm and his baby, the stump, along with his gun, the piece of bamboo, both of which had been emotionally preserved since he had been sent away to the zoo, were put back for him to play with. The coolies take few days to put the cage on the island, and Baba was released after that. He was very, very happy. He stood on his back legs and pointed his gun and cradled his baby. My wife also spent many hours sitting on a chair there while he sat on her lap. He was 15 months old and pretty heavy too. In para number 23, my dear students, the narrator is saying that the way my wife reached to that island and then came back is very, very interesting. The narrator is saying that I have tied a rope to the hanging branch of a mango tree with a loop at its end. My wife put one foot in the loop, then kicks off with the other just to bridge the 6 feet gap that constitute the width of the surrounding pit. The return journey was also made in the same way, but who can now say that a sloth bear has no sense of affection, no memory, and no individual qualities? Now, my dear students, it's time to answer some questions. So, be ready. Okay? Dear students, your first question is, why was Bruno so happy to see the narrator's wife? Options are, first, because he was seeing her after 3 months. Second, because he was seeing her after 5 months. Third, because he was seeing her after 2 months. Fourth, because he was seeing her after 6 months. The right option is, my dear students, because he was seeing her after 3 months. Your second question is, my dear students, which place Bruno allowed to go back to? Options are an island, forest, sugarcane field, Bangalore. The right option is, my dear students, Bangalore. Bruno was allowed to go back to Bangalore. Now, third question, my dear students, and the question is, what provision was made at Bangalore to keep the animal? Options are an island with all the needs for the animal. Second, a cage. Third, a forest. And fourth one is a zoo. The right option is, my dear students, an island with all the needs for the animal. And I request all of you to have a reading with of all these value points. Okay. Now, my dear students, the meaning of some of the difficult words are given. With the help of these word meanings, you can read and understand the content properly. Now, my dear students, at last, it's time to get your classwork. Okay, and in your classwork, I have given you 2 extra-based questions and 3 short answer type questions and 2 long answer type questions. Now, my dear students, with the hope that all of you would have understood the content properly and enjoyed the session, I hope to meet with all of you very, very soon in the next module. Till then, be happy, be positive. Okay, and thanks to all of you, my dear students.